Hello and welcome to this weather update. This will be the local weather update. I'm going to talk about Dorian in another video, but this is going to be about our local weather today. We had a tornado in Suffolk County today, believe it or not, and we have a lot of thunderstorm activity. Nassau, what we had was just some downpours, but Suffolk County got hit hard, and now we have some really intense thunderstorms approaching Atlantic City in New Jersey. So if we look at the lightning map, you will see that these storms are going absolutely nuts here. And I'm using Cam Studio just because I have to figure out. I mean, now with all this active weather, now is not the time to learn how to use new software. So I have to stick with this and hope that it saves. Look at this. This area is just getting pounded. So this is south of Toms River, around Stafford Township. This area is just getting pounded. Just tons and tons of lightning strikes in this area right now. Then we have a storm off to our south, too, over the ocean. That's also causing a lot of lightning strikes. Let's go look at the Ventu Sky radar so we can get a closer look at these storms. So it looks like they're over Ocean Acres, Stafford Township, moving southeastward. Are there any warnings out for these? I'm surprised. Yep, they just issued. Well, they issued a special marine warning, but I think these are severe thunderstorms, and they should have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for them, for sure. Now, as far as power outages go, there aren't too many from these storms yet. However, I expect that number to. There's about 1,000 people out here, or 409 people out on northern part of LBI, I guess. Now, as far as Long Island goes, we only have 367 customers out of power despite that tornado, and that is because the tornado hit a relatively uninhabited area. There's mainly, and it seemed like there was a big cluster of power outages in this area here. So I'm thinking it might have touched down in Rocky Point Preserve, right around where we were hiking, believe it or not. That's the irony of it. There's another power outage over here, but I think the tornado pretty much went over relatively an undeveloped area, so it didn't cause too many power outages. Here are some pictures of the tornado. So I'm going to show you this right now. This is looking north from Smith Point, and you can see here it is. This is Long Island, folks. Look at that classic stovepipe tornado right there. Absolutely nuts to see on Long Island. Again, this is from Smith Point looking north toward Rocky Point, toward Middle Island, toward Yaphank, toward Shirley. That is tornado right there, which is pretty crazy. Let's see if I can find some more. Here's what it looked like on the radar earlier. So this is not taking us to where we want. All right. So I was hoping to maybe get a larger image of that. But you can see that's the radar there. The News 12 actually broke in. I was sitting down having dinner, and the EAS went off on the TV and over the loudspeakers, and that really got your attention. But it was for Suffolk County. It was for this cell right here. So let's roll back the radar right now and look at this cell here on the Ventu Sky. So we're going to roll back the radar to around, this was a couple hours ago, right? Cell, yeah, right here. So this was the cell right here that produced the tornado. You can see it over Ridge. It really went over the middle of the Pine Barrens, which is pretty crazy. But you can see here, there it is. There's the cell, and you can see it was severe. You can see that on here, and you can see the hook echo right there. That's right here. See that hook echo right there? That's where the tornado is. So if we zoom in, I guess it's not going to let me zoom in anymore, but this area right here is literally right in the Pine Barrens. All right, right in the Pine Barrens around Rocky Point, Brookhaven State Park. We move it over to 17. It's moving over toward Riverhead, and the tornado was moving toward Tanger Outlet Center, actually, in Riverhead, and then it dissipated. Fortunately, it did not hit any heavily populated areas. It mainly stayed in the Pine Barrens. So I'm going to try to find some weather reports from that area as to where this tornado was. Now it looks like it went right over Ridge. This area here would be. Now I don't know why it's saying no precipitation, because there was precipitation, but I want to look at a graph at our winds and see this temperature and dew point. So we want to see the wind. So we're going to have to actually go to the whole. You can see it was kind of a warm, muggy day across the area too, but we're looking actually at the actual observation. For that area. I'm trying to find. All right, so this is Shirley. We'll look at the official weather service weather observation from the Shirley airport, which was fairly close to where the storm was. And you can see thunderstorm vicinity. They had some strong wind gusts with it. South 16 gusting to 23. Nothing that impressive, and they got about a half an inch of rain. So let's see if there was a peak gust here. And that's what we're going to try to see if we can get that information here. Um, if it'll give this to us. No, nothing really shows up in here. I could try for another observation, but we're going to have to wait for the storm reports that come in from the Weather Service, I think, before we can actually get any information as to where this is. I can see if there are any local storm reports on the. Alright, so if we go to the National Weather Service Twitter, you can read the tornado warnings that were out. So this was the severe thunderstorm warning for it, and this is the tornado warning for Manorville and Calverton until 5:15 p.m. Tornado warning for again, this was a radar indicated tornado, but people have photos of it as well, so it's definitely that there was a tornado in this area today. Any severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. So whenever there's a severe thunderstorm warning, you have to always pay attention. Let's now look at see if we can find those storm reports, if there are any storm reports about this tornado yet. Otherwise, it'll probably have to wait till tomorrow. A water spout was sighted over Bellport Bay from Shirley Beach. So that's how it started. And let's see, we have let's go to 3 here. Funnel cloud, Mastic Beach. Funnel cloud sighted to the north from Smith Point. That's that picture that we saw. So marine wind thunderstorm gust of 41 mile an hour. So there was some strong winds with this. Water spout was also sighted from Fire Island Pines. So quite a storm, and we'll have to wait to see what damage it caused. It might have just touched down in the middle of the Pine Barrens, and I'm sure they're going to have to send a team out and look around the area and see, but I'm pretty sure that this was a tornado. I'm just curious as to how strong. It sure looks like it was at least an EF1. So we'll have to wait for the reports to see. So let's look at the models, and it looks like I can get tropical tidbits to work right now. You can see we have a bit of a front coming through, and then we have a little bit of a weak high pressure system coming in for tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we have that southwest flow starting to develop. You'll look at the temperatures in a minute. I'm showing this because I'm showing you how the GFS is forecasting Dorian's track. And it does come close, but it stays just enough offshore that right now it's a little further east again, so it looks like we would be spared any hurricane conditions on Long Island. Perhaps the Cape could get into some, but this will need to be watched, of course, as this comes really close to us. So let's look at the temperatures. And let's see what kind of temperatures we'll be dealing with tomorrow as we look at the GFS. So temperatures heat up into the mid-80s. But 80 to 85. It also depends where you are, because the South Shore will be cooler, probably more like low 80s, mid 80s in the middle of the island. New Jersey could be closer to 90. As far as Wednesday goes, it's hotter on Wednesday, especially over New Jersey. Again, you're going to see that same difference. South Shore, low 80s, mid 80s, maybe some upper 80s on the North Shore. New Jersey closer to 90, and New York City as well. And Thursday, here comes that front coming through, and we drop into the mid 70s. That front is what protects us from Dorian, and you can see it clearly. And then as Dorian passes by, it could be a really cool, raw Friday. Highs only in the mid to upper 60s. And then as it pulls away, we have temperatures in the low 70s for much of the weekend, and the mid 70s. I'm not going to go beyond that because there's just a tremendous amount of stuff to talk about. So let's look at the dew points and see how our dew points are going to be going. So today was kind of humid. Dew points up there for sure. Muggy. If we actually, I didn't even look at the observation actually today, the dew point. Let me look at that now. I do apologize. It's hard to, with everything going on. So dew point 69 at Farmingdale. So it's humid, 71, dew point 69. That's typical of what we had. Not a hot day on Long Island, but very, very muggy. Let's take a look at Tom's River, 72, thunderstorm in vicinity. Curious as to how humid it was in Tom's River. Much more humid, of course. Dew points up in the mid-70s. So let's get back to the models here. We have, as we go into Tuesday, you see our dew points drop to the 50s across Long Island. The dry air doesn't quite make it down to New Jersey, but Long Island should be fairly comfortable as far as the dew points go, with light and variable winds becoming south in the afternoon. All right, and then for Wednesday, we have more of that south-southwesterly flow, so the dew points will be going back up into the mid-60s again. And then here comes the cold front for Thursday, and the dew points drop significantly. But the front kind of gets stalled to the south, but hopefully just far enough south to keep Dorian at bay. And then there's Dorian tracking really close to us on Friday there. And we could have some strong gusty winds, low dew points, and low temperatures. It'll feel very cool. And then look at that dry air that comes in behind it. Beautiful Saturday and Sunday as well. So now we'll look at the clouds, and we'll see what kind of day we have for tomorrow. So the clouds actually get out of here, and we actually have a pretty clear day for tomorrow. And Wednesday, maybe a bit more clouds, maybe not. There always has a tendency to be subsidence around these hurricanes. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's clear Wednesday as well. And then here it comes. So here's the cloud shield from Dorian, which will definitely be on Thursday and Friday. And then it pulls away, and then the weekend should be nice. And sunshine, maybe some more clouds on Sunday, but Saturday should be very nice. But it really, we're going to have to watch this, of course. I will lastly look at the winds, and then we're going to wrap up this weather update, because I got to do a Dorian update. That's going to be a separate video to this. Now I'm just going to be using the GFS, because that's the only model that goes far enough out for us to really see how close these winds come to Long Island. Luckily, they stay just offshore, but it will be the worst of the winds stay just offshore, but there's going to be a high surf and beach erosion and some coastal flooding for sure with this track. So that will conclude this weather update. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll keep my eye on Dorian. Eye on Dorian, get it? But anyway, that is it for this weather update. Have a good night.